things where you never do for me. When you tell him to...
Hi guys, welcome to Kicking It with Reecy. It's your girl Reecy, and today I'm in high heaven, people. I have men on my set tonight, on my table panel tonight, and I am so happy. Chef Jay is going to have to share me tonight.
Permission.
Granted?
Of course.
Good.
Definitely.
Good. With that being said, let me introduce my guests. Hopefully they'll be coming back after hanging with us tonight. To my left, we have Bruce. Hi, Bruce.
What's going on?
Hey, and then, as you know, you have Chef Jay.
Good night, everyone.
Talk up, no man.
Gotta keep it nice and sexy.
Okay. All right. And to my right is Mr. Clean, Jossie.
What's going on?
You see this
Yeah.
right here?
What's happening?
I can't keep cool.
You're making us look bad.
No.
No, actually, I think it matched perfectly. You know, got the suit, you got the the hat with the swag, and you got the all black.
Reecy loves variety.
Right.
All right.
You give you different taste.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying?
I'm in high
'Cause
heaven.
If all of us dress the same tonight, we kind of look like just
Yeah.
And I had to keep my girls to the curb, but they understand.
That's it.
It's all about the men tonight. So tonight's topic is, what do high-end, did I say right, high-end? High-value men want in a woman. You know this, high value. Okay? So we're going to start it off with our guest. Let's hear from Mr. Bruce.
Well, we don't really change too much. Our standards are the same. We want someone who's cooperative.
Okay.
We definitely want someone who's submissive.
Submissive.
But we're gonna break that.
We don't like that word around here. Submissive.
So let's break that down.
I'm gonna break that down, though. I'm gonna break
Okay.
it down.
I'm hot already.
But I definitely they want someone who's friendly, not argumentative, combative. High value men, they have a lot to deal with. When you're dealing with, if you're talking about an executive or someone who's like Russell Wilson on that level, you're dealing with a lot in the corporate world. So when you're done, you want to come home to a traditional wife.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You want someone who's like loving, caring, friendly. You don't want to deal with beat bullshit.
Yeah.
Traditional. Okay.
Now,
Yes.
when he say traditional wife and he say submissive, right? You have to understand, it's not like a wife who just stay at home and work and do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, just stay at home mom. That's not what he meant. Right. What he meant is actually, you know what? It's the conversation. As a wife, you see your husband coming home and he had a long day. Baby, how was your day?
Yes.
Communication. Baby, let me pamper you. A little something like that, right? Not like, oh, I'm going to be home cleaning and cooking and you come home, whatever he said you got to do. Right. That's not what it means. Submissive doesn't mean that you have to bow down to a man.
Oh, thank you
That's
for clarifying that,
at
because
all,
that's what
right?
I was thinking.
No man, no high-value man want a woman to bow down to them.
Right.
They want a woman to love and care, right? It's like the nurture part of the woman. That's what the man really look for, the nurture part. But if they feel like they argue and they feel like I'm arguing with another man, like if a man have to raise their voice and argue, you only see a man truly do that with another man. They never want to see themselves doing that with a woman.
To raise the voice?
Yes.
Raise your voice and argue and screaming.
Definitely.
Because it takes a lot of energy to do that.
I mean,
So that's why when women argue and whatever, when we argue and raise our voice, you guys just keep quiet?
Just keep quiet.
I don't like that. I don't.
But most women have the need to be right, so we don't want to.
I mean,
it's true.
Honestly,
but I'm right.
No, don't need to be right. They're always right.
Right.
Even when they're wrong, they're still right.
Right.
You know what I mean? See, no, I mean.
But it's a need to be right attitude.
Right, so, you know.
So what most men would do, if you feel like you need to be right, see, here's what men are.
Never wrong.
Men are logical and women are emotional.
We're itching over here.
So
you're logical?
Yeah, men are logical.
Very logical. Yes, we look at
women are emotional.
You see the one Jay him have backative today here, but yes. Everybody say, I got my guys here. I can talk.
he's not alone
You know, he said, yo, but bring out, a couple boys. But remember the boys that are left, right? And then you're going to have us. All right.
Well, hopefully the women learn something
Hold
tonight.
on, listen, I always can stand my
on.
own, you know what I mean? But, I don't really have to say much tonight. These guys are actually on point, you know what I mean? It's a matter of just, we just got to take
But
back
what
and
do
just
you
listen
want
to
in
what
a
they say.
woman? I need to know.
We just laid out a while ago.
No, I want you to tell me. I heard Bruce, and I want you.
You sure want to tell them
You-
about
I
the show?
want, yes, I want the
Nah.
whole. I want it on camera.
I can do that on camera, but then when the whole flock come at me, what you going to do?
It's all right. Hey, I mean, in Reecy,
Yeah.
But you know what though?
Okay.
Men have to
There you
hold other women accountable because most women don't hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
They I think a lot of women don't hold the next person accountable because they don't want to be in that person's relationship. They're like, I don't want to be in the middle of it, or they tell another woman what they want to hear.
Do you feel men hold men accountable?
Yeah.
High value men.
Yes,
Yeah,
Conversation.
yes, we do.
It depends. It
High
depends.
value men.
What do we
Depends.
call a high value man? Just so
Okay.
we're clear on the
All right,
terms
so,
and definition.
So a high value man, number one,
Someone
it's a person that first, if you start income wise, is a person that's making 6 figures and above, right? That's income wise. Second, it's a person that carry themselves a certain way, that have integrity, standard, and they actually stand for something, and they don't let anything shake them away. Not easily be influenced by another person. They know who they are individually as men.
and they bring value to the group,
Value, a lot of value.
and they have some sort of leadership qualities where other people follow them and listen to them. Some sort of influence.
Leadership is very important in a high value man.
And if we take it back, we're talking about modern men, like not nowadays, we're internet guys. We're talking about modern guys. Modern men will be hunting and taking care of the family. The woman, we bring home the kill, the woman will take care of it, kill it, and do the rest. So it's pretty much the same,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
I think most men just want to help me, like the Bible says.
It should be a partnership.
Exactly. That's the help.
That's
So you have to look at it like a man doesn't want to say, "Hey, I'm the man in the house. This is what I want you to do." They're looking for partnership, but the first thing they seek in a partnership is peace of mind.
But that's exactly what it should be. Just like you were saying, biblically, it is supposed to be that way.
Because you have to understand.
But it's not like that. It's
No,
competition.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's a
It's
lot
like,
of
I could do this, I could do that, and it becomes competitive.
Especially if you have a high value
About
man and then a high value lady.
Yes.
Or whatever. That's the same thing. They're gonna compete against each other.
But sometimes-
Which it shouldn't be like that.
True,
Yeah.
but sometimes they don't understand it.
But we don't want another man.
Yeah.
We want a feminine woman.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then us as women, we want men to be able to stand up.
Yes.
Stand up. to
Yeah,
us.
but at the same time, a high value woman is
And
that.
not all high value men are like that.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
a high value woman at certain times have to know when to take the shoes off.
And a high value woman
Yeah,
doesn't
so-
mean you make more money.
Yeah.
It becomes on your looks, your beauty, how you take care of yourself, your mannerisms, and also influence.
Exactly.
It's kind of called etiquette. Men,
But
high
some-
value men look for etiquette. Now, to answer one of the questions she said, not all high value men are like that. That is not a high value man. High value men come with quality and certain criteria.
Yeah.
There's a lot of men who make a ton of money, doesn't mean they're high value men because they don't meet the other criteria. Does that make sense?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And the reason why you feel the pushback is because it has not been that way. We found ourselves as women catering to low value men that have put us in a position where we have to be the man to make sure everything's taken care of.
So
So it's a hard concept to accept that there's still that man that exists today, which is why I think this show is important.
Especially in our community.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
would that be considered feminism?
No.
Now I'm saying feminism, like how they push the women to become workers, to be independent, separate the fathers from the homes.
But again, that's in our community.
It is in our
In our
community.
black
Yeah.
community.
The thing-
Where we have not had the option to have our men because they're off to jail or killed or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
challenge with that is that we always hear the phrase everything starts from home.
Yes.
It does.
So we're not being taught that as young men and women, especially men, right? Just like you said, men are not being taught how to truly be a man,
Absolutely.
right?
The
And
father's
There are
not
no
there.
men
because,
around.
because,
the
because
father's
the
not
father
there.
is not there,
Exactly.
right? So when the father is not there, and a lot of time it leaves for the women, because here's the reality: no woman can actually raise a man
Thank you.
or
I
boy
say it
into
all
a
the
man.
time.
Please, I'm
Right?
glad you
It
said
I
doesn't
say it all the
matter. It
time.
doesn't matter if that boy is a mama's boy, but when he becomes a man, he can't be a mama's man.
That's true. Facts.
Right? He can be a mama's boy, but not a mama's man.
Yep.
So the reason why, because as a man, he have all the responsibilities. As a mama's boy, the mom have all the responsibilities. So when he becomes an adult, he's now portraying the little boy as an adult. And it never worked well, especially when they find a spouse.
Lord.
Exactly.
Who is
Yeah.
looking for a man and not a mama's boy.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter how much money he makes.
Now she's competing with mom.
He's competing with mom.
Yeah.
So he could be very wealthy, right? And he have a spouse, he have a wife, but he still, and the wife is now competing with the mom.
Yep.
Whatever mom says goes.
Absolutely.
And that's what you have to deal with. So
And then
This
that's
is one of
something
the
that has
reasons
to
why I
be
hate to hear women say, "Oh, you know, okay, I don't care. He can be gone. The father can be gone, or whatever, and I'll take care of my son. I'm gonna raise him and everything." Well, you're not raising him. I understand what you're talking about, but you're not really properly
I
raising
mean,
him.
really
Yeah.
and truly,
Because he should. Don't keep him away from his father, because whatever, especially if he wants to be in his life.
That's a
but
difference.
it's critical to do that. So it's very critical for a mother to not keep the father away from the son. Because in reality, whether you know it or not, the mother sometimes treating the son out of resentment.
Yes.
true.
It's like they hate the baby daddy or the father because of that relationship, but who's paying the price? Who's in the middle of that?
The
It's
kid.
always the kid is in the
Yeah.
middle. Oh, you can't see my son because of the argument we have, because of the disagreement. And it's hurting the child. The child can't defend or speak for themselves. A lot of time they'll give you a message. Oh, why can't y'all two be together? Or why can't we spend some time? Or whatever the case may be. They give you the message, but because there's so much love between them two, y'all leave the child, especially a boy, to pick who they should be with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's definitely wrong, because when they get older, they don't know how to act or respond. So when they find a wife,
Oh,
You don't know
Lord.
they will
treated.
treat you from what they went through,
Yes.
not what, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's always become a cycle of that problem.
Which is why it's important when they're young, when they see everything is, they're recording everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're molding them, so you have to know the right way of how
They're
to
sponge.
mold it.
Absolutely.
I mean, even
They
our
watch everything.
the young
They're
women though,
sponges at that time.
young women are choosing the careers, and then later on they choose marriage.
So speaking of that part, another thing when it comes to high value men, understand high value men have more options, especially in this 21st century, than ever before when it comes to finding the right person, when it comes to finding a woman, right? So because they have that choice, they get to choose to say, hey, it's the same thing. For example, if you look at a woman and say, what do you like in a man? They'll tell you a long list.
Yes, we have
6
our
figures,
list.
you got to look good, you got to be certain height, you got to do this, you got to do that.
Got a funny personality.
Personality. Y'all want all of that.
Good in bed.
But you have to understand
Yes, we do.
all that you asking for, right? Good in bed, big dick, all that stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Yes?
Hey,
But understand that person you're looking for, it does exist. But he's
where?
at that high value. Listen,
Find them for me, please.
let me tell you.
Hold on.
They 100% exist.
They do exist.
That's why they call high value men. But that high value men, if you ask them, what are they looking for?
Yeah.
Right? And if you're not at that level, I promise you, there's not anything that they're going to ask for.
I see some
So
high
you
value.
have to. So the woman who's asking for that high value man, that means you have to get to that level. Because if we both put a list down of what you're looking for, and if you don't fit in that list, you will never even be in his
You
radar.
you have to realize that value man, all the women want him. Most women want what most other women want.
Exactly.
You have to
Most
be competitive.
95% of men don't have sex. Most women, the 5%.
Say what?
Explain that. He's going to explain.
No, you can't just say, you have to explain that. Don't
You can't cut him off. You can't cut him off. Let him explain. Let him explain.
I heard 95, no sex.
95% of men don't really have sex with like that. Some of them are virgins. So you have the top 5% of men, 95% of the women have sex with the top 5%.
5% of men.
So they're having sex with the same men over and over and over. So those guys are being circled. So you're like, oh, you sleeping with him because all the women want the same men.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you
That's
guys.
what I'm saying.
For
You're not
example,
gonna want that loser over there that's a nerd or the guy who's a
So-
lame-o.
So what
No.
what does he mean by 95% of men don't have sex? Okay, if you take one woman and you line up 10 guys and you ask that woman, even if you line up 100 guys, you ask that woman, who would she sleep with?
she'll pick one of them.
She would pick
One
one
or two out of
or
bunch.
two out of that person.
Exactly.
But if you put 100 women, you ask that guy, who would you sleep with? would be like,
No, I was gonna say I sleep with
Probably
a
say
girl.
all-
I was gonna say we
So,
sleep with a girl.
if
So
you
those
look at
guys
it
don't
that
sleep
way,
with nobody.
this is the reason why he said 95% of men.
They do. A lot of men are virgins though.
Where?
No, it's
They
real.
are.
It's real.
They are. I'm serious.
It's
A
real.
lot of men are virgins. They don't have sex with anybody.
Listen, you have,
They're not like women.
Listen, you have
Remember, you choose.
Wait, what was that?
Women control sex. Men control relationships. You want marriage?
That's a
We
very
control
key
that.
point.
You control us.
We
with the-
control
We
who we
control
married
relationship.
to. We control relationship. You want relationship, but we control that.
Are you speaking of a high value man?
High
No,
value. Men
just
period.
men. Period. Men. Period.
Is most men don't
Men
know
the one
that.
who don't really want to get married.
We don't want to. We
Women's
choose
the
who.
one. I want a ring. We like, man.
We just want sex.
Well, hold on, there's some women like that. I ain't mad at that though.
Right?
There's women like that too.
So here's the thing.
Everybody want marriage.
Here's the thing.
I'm in a business
It's not even just about the marriage part. What is it about is that this is what two people don't know. High value come to learn and understand that. They learn to understand that, hey, we have control of the relationship, right? Not all men knows that. Because if they did, they would operate different. They'll actually have more confidence in themselves because they know that this is what you want. So how do we can act accordingly so we can actually do an even trade? So because women have control of sex and men have control of relationship, it gets to a point when the men become a high value man. They start to understand that because they're like all these women, like he just talked about,
Yeah, now you're in
going to
competition
the
with all
high
the other
value
women.
men. So it becomes more of a confidence. Say, okay, you know what? I now have the choice to pick the type of woman I want because of where I'm at, who I am in my standard. That makes sense? But those who's not, they don't have that. So a lot of time they really, I don't say a lot of time, even to the day, they don't know they have control of relationship. So what they do, they just accept whatever they can get, even if they're not happy with it. Because they think that I may never get to have sex again
Exactly.
with even if it's not that person.
This time,
Even
Yes.
if
And listen,
remember, we just explained to you the reason
that's
why
settled.
they don't
That's
have
they
it.
settled.
don't understand.
That's
they don't know
settled.
that.
That's settled.
They were settled
You just get to take the best deal.
because they don't know.
Deal or no deal?
Remember
Listen, I
how
got
we
2 kids.
explained
You
it.
got 3 kids. Let's put it together. That's what it is.
It's like this.
But listen, a lot of guys.
Know if you walk in the room, you say, "I'm gonna have sex with that dude." You can say that I'm gonna have sex with, but we'll walk in the room and see a woman say, "I hope I can get that."
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
There's no
But
chance.
you know if you can do because it's up to you. If I say come over, let's do it. You're gonna do it. We
Yeah.
can't say that. We
Can't
gotta
say
ask for permission.
You have to go out.
It's all up to
You
them.
got to take you on a date.
So this is the reason why he said 95% of men are not really
I'm
doing
honest
it.
to tell you, sorry to cut you. I don't believe that part there.
You
It's
don't
a
believe
fact. It's a
No,
fact.
You want to know why you don't believe it?
No, I don't.
Here's the
It's not
thing.
the way that I'm seeing how women are now.
Because you have hit with high
And maybe
value
at
in the right
one
way.
time it was like that, but now how the women are
Alright,
now,
so-
it's very easy for men.
Let me explain to
not
you
easy.
why you say that. Let me explain to you why you
It
say
is not
that.
easy.
Something right with them.
Well,
But there's a lot. There's
see money and everything like that, and see woman don't even have to do anything. Oh my
Y'all
God.
don't have
Well,
to do
let me
it.
explain
But
to
it's
you.
still-
You're a
it's still
woman.
what
These
the
are guys
woman
with
does,
money and
though.
everything.
It still do what a woman does.
If the woman is easy still, we have to. We don't just walk on and say, "Come on." If a woman grabs a man and say, "Come get in the bed," ain't nobody can call that rape. If a man go do that junk, it's now he got a
yeah.
situation.
Yeah, he in a
So it's still,
situation.
it's still, even if a woman's
Yep.
easy, it's
You'll
still
never
in
hear
her
no
fault.
man call rape.
It's still in her fault.
So to answer your question, the reason why it may seem like more men are having sex easier now these days, because of social media and technology, women have learned to open up more, to expose themselves more. Back in the days, a lot of women were not open themselves sexually because, number one, what is the biggest fear of women? Being judged.
Being judged. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Being
That's why I say
judged.
it's so easy.
So-
I'm saying things
so-
now
But the woman's
on
still in
social
control
media
of that.
is
Still in
ridiculous.
control.
The woman's still in control of that.
Yeah,
So
but
the
listen-
minute the women feel comfortable and say, I don't care how you judge me, they still get to pick whoever they want, whether they lame or not lame. But the man can't do that.
No.
The only men that have control or more options of that is high value men.
Jay been trying to say something for the past.
No, but listen,
Go ahead.
no, these guys have it on point. But listen, to top it off, what they're talking about. For example, if you use nowadays, if somebody reach into your DM, say 100 guys, there's only a few you're gonna look at and say, you know, I'm gonna respond to this person. So that's a perfect example.
You look
right
through
there.
that profile?
You understand?
Yep.
Because you'll look at it and say, oh, no, that's a nerd, that's a geek, that's
That's the
whatever.
same thing.
And then guess what happened? Out of the 10, it's only one
Pick that
person
one.
you'll respond to. You understand? So that's a perfect example. So you show that, you know, I mean, we're still
I mean, this is
the person.
how we're different.
Same thing in
if
person.
If we go to our boys, the first thing they're gonna say is what she look like.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to your girls, they're gonna say what he do.
Exactly.
Yes, true.
Right? Oh, girl, he got a nice car. He's an executive. Oh, he do. We like, oh man, she got a fat ass. She likes
good.
We're talking about high value though at the end of the day. Not to,
Okay, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, but
we're
also
talking about high value
Yeah.
men, and from what you guys are saying, high value men have their pick of the litter if they want, in essence.
Yes.
But at the same time, is that quality though, or quantity?
High value men is really looking for the quality in a person, because high value men, believe it or not, they don't like to go out and just sleep everywhere, because what they start to understand different energy.
Mm-hmm.
Certain energy drain them. Certain energy get to a point now. This season where high value men, they feel like just made it. You know what I'm saying? And that's in anything that we do in life, right? That's why you see the 4 seasons of weather, right? So there's moments of that. But majority of the time, most high value men, they'd rather be with one person. And the reason why is because they just want to continue having that peace of mind, right?
Yeah.
So they look for quality.
And just
That's what they
remember,
look
like, look at any president and the vice president that represents the president. He wants the person that's going to help him become the best version of him. Obama, Michelle.
Yeah.
You know.
And most men president, if you don't know that, but men president can't become a president without having a first lady.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
You
So
can
how
try
does a
this
high
a lot.
value man find a high value woman?
Well, number one, believe it or not, it's supposed to be the other way around. But however, because y'all want the relationship in the marriage.
Yep.
How does a high value man filter through the dozens of options they have to find?
The first thing they filter to. Okay. So first thing,
That's a good question.
first, I tell you what.
That's a good question.
From my experience,
Yeah.
one of the things I could say, right? The first thing level for any man, high value or non value, right? We are men of image.
Yep.
Right?
Image is important.
Beauty is the thing. Whether it's natural, even if it's not natural, they want maintenance.
How you carry yourself.
How you carry yourself.
Yep.
After you pass that, it's the level of communication. You can be the most beautiful person in the world. You open your mouth and your energy is bad, they automatically get turned off.
Facts.
Nice to meet you. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Facts.
Yeah, because you're making us look bad.
I'm gonna say it should be for each person.
Yeah.
It should be
But you'd be surprised. But you have to understand,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
should be, but it's literally 95% it's not. Because remember, it's how a child's being raised. If a guy raised with a single mom, they, especially the minority, they used with a single mom being very strong, very driven, very outspoken, right? Speak their mind. They grasping all that.
And the woman becomes that.
Whether they like it or not, right? If they may not like it, but that's what they become a habit of dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not happy, they won't tell you. There's a lot of things men won't tell women. And the reason why men won't not tell women is if they tell you, they will no longer get sex.
Yeah. We're only going to want to tell you what you want.
You ain't getting on sex because you told me that.
Anything a man tell a woman that a woman don't like or disagree, they won't have sex with the man.
Yep.
Think about it.
Yes.
If a guy says something to you and you're not pleased or happy with it,
Turn it off.
you're going to turn it off. You're gonna
Well,
have sex
you have to
with
remember, like for example, what you said. Just to tap that off, it's like a bar.
Yeah, tell me the date.
Listen, it's like it's a bar, and each time we tell you something that it's not.
it. Sorry, you saying?
No, I said it's almost the same as like having a chart, and each time we said something to you that is not like masculine or it doesn't stand out a certain way, you cross it off and it's just decreasing our value in this towards your attraction towards us. You understand? And that's it. So most women go for attraction of like masculine male or whatever the case may
Like,
be.
give me an example.
Big example: if I'm a whiner, that's definitely gonna turn you off. Talk too much as a guy. How much women you hear talk all the time? Like this guy's talk too much.
Shot too much.
It's a turn off. It's a turn off. You understand?
That's feminine.
What with that part?
Yeah, it's a lot of that turn. Listen, and when you're not on your purpose, mean like, for example, like if you, for example, like me now, being a chef, if I put a woman before my craft, first thing she's gonna look at it is like, open, I have the first option, so I can do as I please. But if I put my craft before her, she always know that she comes second place. So guess what happened? She always gonna be. It's either she gonna agree or cool with what I got going on, or she gonna always look at it like, I can get around with this guy whenever I want to. You understand?
So isn't that a conversation that you guys supposed to have?
No, it's not a conversation, because then again, it's like I said, it's like a chart, and each time we say something that break down, touch into certain elements of our personal life, which you get with ladies, you can't you.
But you know what?
I get turned off by it. It's always like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Right? So when a guy open up to a point,
certain things turn you off.
Men get sized. Right? And men's always getting sized with other men, and they don't want to be sized by women, but they do. So what he's explaining is that...
I think it depends on what type of woman it is.
No, it's a faction. No, straight across the board.
No, it's straight
across the board. Yes.
Yeah. It's straight across the board.
Listen, you have to look at, for example, there's a lot of things a person's going to say to you that if they open up and say certain things to you, it turn you off.
Yeah.
You may not admit it at the present moment, but if you hear it, you're going to be like, Open, the attraction or this sexual attraction you have for the person, it decreases.
It does.
You understand? Think about the first day when you met a guy that you like. The attraction is all the way up there. As you get to know that person and you see that person changing and propelling to a different person, you notice it decrease and decrease and decrease.
Yep.
If that person is on their purpose and focus on what they got going on, guess what happened? The attraction keep going and going and going, because it's like you're still trying to catch up to that person. You're still trying to get to know that person. But if that person is so into you that you forget about what he got going on, guess what happened? You get less and less.
Mm-hmm.
Most women are confused. They don't know.
Exactly.
Most women don't know what it is.
Well, does that mean that in relationships, typically men are not 100% unapologetically themselves?
We are
themselves.
We are themselves.
We just don't open up about certain things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It is.
No, but it's
That's not just men. That's women too.
Yeah.
Let's say at the beginning of the relationship, and you're not gonna just let all of yourself.
No, that's in the beginning. No, we understand that
things
part.
out in the open. Yeah.
No.
Every time I look around, a man don't be straightforward.
But women lie too.
But remember what you're talking about.
Women are lying too.
But eventually, you should be comfortable up with your partner.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
should be vulnerable with your partner.
Remember, it depends what you're experiencing. Are you experiencing this with a high value man?
Exactly.
Because number one, high value men are not afraid to tell you anything. They'll tell you, this is what I'm looking for, right?
Mhm.
And then a lot of times they tell you to see that how you take the information,
Correct.
how you marinate the information, and how you bring it back out.
Mhm.
Because they want to see, like, are you open-minded to what I'm saying, or do you understand what I'm saying,
You put to
or
stretch.
is it a defense mechanism? Because if it is, they're gonna be like, they already know where it's going to be. Because if you have a defense mechanism this early of us communicating, we just met,
But Jocelyn,
then I know it's gonna be a problem down the road.
Absolutely.
But Jocelyn, let's be honest. Only a very small few of women qualify for high value men.
Exactly.
100%.
Not everybody qualifies. You might want a high value man, but
Okay,
you don't
that's
qualify
what I
for
was
that
getting
man.
to that.
Yeah, so let's filter.
Number one, when I talked about this, so another thing what high value men recognize is that what women want. Here's the thing: 99.9% of the time, women don't know what they want.
facts.
Hold on. We're not even gonna listen. This is another
I mean,
show.
we can explain it in a way.
Wait, this is that's it.
We
Yeah.
can explain it in a way. We can explain it in a way. And the reason why we say that is because, remember,
I have to take a shot for that one.
This is
this is a hard conversation. A man can ask you what you want, right? You will most likely say what you don't want. Now, when you make the list, I want success, I want this, I want that. In the man, that is what you call a outside physical appearance. So let's say if you see an athlete, right? You know this athlete, he's a tall guy, he's handsome, he's athletic, right? He got money. That's the first thing you automatically know that you want.
Yep.
But that's not what you actually want, because when you meet the man himself, through who he is, through that communication, it's a different thing.
Person.
And
Exactly.
you have no idea that's what you wanted.
Exactly.
That's why we
Exactly.
can tell you 99% of the time, those women don't know what they want because they
Facts.
never had that.
Yep.
They've never been taught that, especially a lot of women grew without a father.
all right.
How would you know that?
Jesse, you have to go come back. This we have to talk about in another show. This was really like enlightening. We gotta.
Attention to this one.
Huh? We gotta do a part 2 on this one, right? So we're gonna come back with part 2 of what high value men look for in a woman. So join us again. Thank you.
Woo!
Things where you never do for me. When you tell him to mash up your body. You know have no heart, girl, you God. It's like you want me, not the mag. When me see how you are, make him feel happy. Girl, you shoulda never do your thing and make me see. Cause me now want to live with this your memory. If see another man a give you agony, money bigger than for me. And not that make you mash up your family. Girl, now tell me